talk to you about getting up and trying again after life kicks the living shit out of you. 8 years and 8 days ago, exactly today, I walked into a criminal courtroom. Actually, I was shackled in that courtroom, so I kind of waddled. My family was directly in front of me, and the press was to my left. Every major media outlet, CNN, CNBC, ABC, CBS, everyone wanted to know what was going to happen with the Bernie Madoff of the South. I was assured that day that the worst was behind me and I would go home on something called shock probation, because the feds chose not to indict my firm, because the Security Exchange Commission chose not to pursue charges, and because of my stellar military background. And so I walked in front of the judge, taking 100% accountability and responsibility for what happened at my financial planning firm, and promised to right all of my wrongs. The judge looked over at the television cameras and then looked down at me and gave me not one, but 2 20-year prison terms that day. It was almost like playing a sadistic game of Simon Says, where Simon says, pat your stomach, but Simon pats his head. You see one thing, you hear another thing, and it just completely baffles your mind of what's taking place. The bailiff grabbed my arm, took me out of the criminal courtroom, and put me in a cage. A few months later, I was sent to a maximum security prison, where I was housed with nothing but convicted killers, because that's where you go when you have a 40-year prison term. Then, the attorneys who worked for my company paid the majority of the restitution in this case, and that prompted the reporters to start showing up at the prison I was in. Wardens hate for any type of publicity to be shown on what takes place in these horrendous facilities. So the warden sent me to one prison after another. 9 prisons in total. Maximum security, killers everywhere. And I had to learn to adapt and overcome this new environment. But instead of going to work on revealing the facts and revealing the truth of what happened to me and what happened in my financial planning firm, I immediately went to work on myself, because I was far from innocent. I went to work trying to figure out where I went wrong. I went to work trying to figure out, how do I change the habits? Because I don't care if you're an entrepreneur or what your genre is in life, you must be 100% responsible for your circumstances and your environment. The moment you give that up is the moment you lose control. After I pinpointed exactly where I went wrong, I documented everything. And that took several years. Then I went to work on this criminal case. I laid out a very meticulous outline that was so simple to follow that a 3rd grader could understand it. And then a very prominent Texas judge came to my rescue, went with an attorney to the Board of Pardons and Paroles, and gave me an immediate release that day. When the news came to me in a prison cell that I was going home, I immediately felt this euphoria about how incredible it was that I overcame this adversity, about how I didn't get bitter, about how I got better, and about how I didn't have a breakdown in this environment. I had a breakthrough. All that lasted a minute, maybe more, not much more than that. Then I was scared, because I was coming back into society with nothing. When I went away, guys, I lost everything. They didn't give me a chance to get my affairs in order. They didn't give me a chance to do anything. The district attorney said I was more of a flight risk than Emilio Earhart. He's staying inside of these jail cells. So I came back, and the same day I came home, I went to work for my father for $600 a month. That was a drastic increase. This was in 2013. And he went to these car dealerships and put paint on these cars. And what he did was he was trying to make them look nicer so that they could sell for more money. I saw the salesman not really doing anything except for selling cars when people came on the lot. So I thought that would be a good job for me, so I could go sell these cars and build my social media platform, build my network. My first social media account was in 2014 on Facebook. But I grinded, I worked, and eventually I discovered that success is not a destination. Success is a direction. And something that fell in my lap was the domain, thesecrettosuccess.com. How can you fail with a domain like that? We launched a business, I shot personal development videos, and the business failed epically. So I did what every entrepreneur does. I launched another business. That one failed too. Then I launched another business, and that one failed as well. Now my family calls me and says, hey guys, or hey Jeremy, we need you to come over and have dinner with us. I knew that was cue for something. So my brothers and sisters, my parents sat me down, and they informed me that my best thinking got me a 40-year prison term. They informed me that this entrepreneur stuff wasn't for me. And they actually gave me an ultimatum that day. They said, go get a job, get some health insurance, stop doing this being bold and going on social media and telling your story. And if you don't get a job, if you don't stop this pursuit of entrepreneurship, we don't want anything to do with you. I'm thinking that a lot of people have similar conversations or have similar stories around them as well, especially with all the heads nodding now. But I'm here to tell you, I chose my future over my family. And it wasn't easy to do, but I had to do it. I slowly had a little more success. I had several more failures, but I always failed forward. And now, I have a #1 international best-selling book. It was a #1 marketing book on every major country on the planet. The Huffington Post and other major publications call me a brilliant entrepreneur. I have the #1 software for Instagram automation in the world right now. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people follow me and listen to my message. I have another book being released December 12th, and because of the pre-order list, it's already a #1 international bestseller. And so my story to you is what I want to convey that says, I bet you have self-doubt in your mind. When I came back and I was trying to reintegrate to society, to find my lifestyle that I was accustomed to, I had all these voices in my head saying I wasn't good enough, saying that I didn't deserve this second chance, saying you screwed up. Then I had family and friends and people that I call dream stealers telling me that you need to conform to society. But it is their requirement, guys, if you want to succeed, to get around dream supporters. People who will build you up when your self-sabotaging thoughts are tearing you down. And I want to share a quote with you that got me through the most difficult times of my life and helped me believe that I was good enough to write these books, build these academies, and give my message on social media. The quote comes from Joel Osteen. Joel said this. He said, when God puts a dream in your heart, when He puts a promise on the inside, He deposits in you everything you need to accomplish that dream. He doesn't give you the desire without giving you the ability. The last part's the most important. A lot of you have desires to write books. A lot of you have desires to start businesses. So if you have the desire, you have the ability. In all this adversity, hopefully none of you will have to face something as cataclysmic as a 40-year prison term, but nonetheless you will face setbacks. You will face roadblocks. But everything that's standing in your way is not there to keep you out. It's there to see how damn bad you want it. So let me close with this. Y'all need to know that the moment you stop fighting for what you want in this life, what you don't want will automatically appear. Thank you.